Hello, pilots, and welcome back to another X-Wing flight video brought to you by Out of Arc Gaming. As always, my name is Phil, and today we are joined by...
It's James. I'm here to talk about some spaceships.
Hey, James, long time no see, buddy. Good to have you back on the channel.
It's good to be back.
Excellent. And we've got some Rebels, so that's right up your street, if I remember rightly. You're a big fan of that faction.
I am, but I'm also a big fan of Mandalorians, so The fact that we've got some Mandos and some Rebels is great.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting showdown, this one. Both lists. I mean, Sam's list is a list that we've seen variations of before, but it's been a while. It's sort of lost favour in the meta, so we'll see how well that does. But it's Quinn's list. Quinn's lists are
There's some real shenanigans going on there that I'm sure we'll see at some point in the game.
Oh, fingers crossed. I look forward to that. So, I mean, on the subject of lists, I'll go through Sam's list, because again, I don't want to deprive you of your rebellion. So what we have on Sam's side is a Scum Mandalorian matchup. We've got Fen Rao with Fearless and the advanced proton torpedoes. So just in case he's not in that dual forward firing arc, then he's still got a really good attack there. We've also got Boba Fett in the Slave One with Lone Wolf, heavy laser cannons, seismic charges, contraband cybernetics, hull upgrade, stealth device, and Slave One. I think that might be pretty much all. It's almost all slots filled on Boba there. That is a chunky ship right now.
Well, Boba's not the only one with a fully kitted out ship.
What have we got on the other side then, mate?
So Quinn has brought Janors in the Hawk with Swarm Tactics, K2SO crew, engine upgrade, shield upgrade, and the Moldy Crow title.
Stacked.
As well as Lebo in the YT 2400 with expert handling, one set of cluster missiles, Luke Skywalker gunner, shield upgrade, and some false transponder codes.
Luke Skywalker gunner, and he can fit other upgrades in there at the same time.
Yeah, when you sent me this list, and I was like, okay, so there's a lot of stuff in here. Luke Gunner's here, and it came to 194 points.
Which...
There's still 6 points spare in this list, even though both ships also have a shield upgrade.
And that actually gives a 1 point bid against Sam. Sam's list is 195, so that's one of those ones where you build for the bid and then suddenly go, I've literally been outbidded.
5 point bid. That's a good bid. I'll stick with that. And then this comes along.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I've seen some ridiculous bids recently. I think the largest bid I've seen is like 19 points. And I don't know about you, but for me, I'm like a 19-point bid. That I kind of feel like I'm crippling myself with that kind of a bid.
Yeah, I feel like at that point, is the bid really worth that much? I mean, you could nearly fit another ship in for that.
Yeah. I mean, if it's Scum and you've got the YV666, you could fit the Nashtar Pup in, or the autopilot drone for the Falcon. I mean, other ships maybe not, but I think
each faction now has just a cheap thing you can throw in.
Yeah. And just there's so many upgrades you think that you could potentially like drop an upgrade to get another ship in there. So it is absolutely mental, like going for such a large bid. But these are two of the more normal bids, like 5 points and 6 points. So it'll be interesting to see what is going to happen there. And looks
like Lebo is coming in quick to the fight. There's no waiting around.
Yeah, I mean, I think Lebo has got a huge advantage there with Janors to support, to be able to just pass tokens around between them, and the fact that Lebo can pretty much chuck themselves. I'm not
too familiar on some of the old Legends stuff.
Yeah. I mean, Lebo gets a calculate, so I'm assuming it's some form of robot, some form of
I know
droid.
that Lebo is or was Dash Rendar's droid, I think.
Yes.
But I like Lebo's ability of once you spend a calculate, you can get one after that sort of attack or defense. Because that works well with the K2 upgrade on Jan to go, here, have another calculate.
Yeah, those combos are going to work really well. Like K2SO giving Lebo the calculate, Lebo's ability to get that calculate back. So it's a case of.
Because Lebo can calculate and link the target lock because he's just done.
Yes. Which is just fantastic.
A target lock, a calculate, maybe a second calculate, and a force token for an attack. And now he's just used the false transponder codes to jam Bobber.
So that means that Bobber will not be able to, well, Bobber won't really get an action next turn, which is just, like, false transponder codes are brilliant. Like, they're seeing a lot of use. I mean, again,
they're a cheap, illicit upgrade that have a limited use that make it seem more fair.
Now, if you want to make that use less limited and less fair for your opponents, you run it on 3 ships, specifically the YV666, the Shadowcaster, and also on a Jumpmaster. And then on the YV666, you chuck Jabba the Hutt in, so that when you spend it, you can gain it back. I got false transponded 6 times against my interceptors. That was a tough game. So, yeah, there are ways of making that really good. But I mean, it's a great cheap card. You don't have to rely on it. It's just good fun.
Yeah, it's one of those cards where if it comes up, great, but don't make it your entire plan, I think.
Yeah. But we were talking about Lebo, getting his actions is great. And the fact that he can be quite aggressive and he doesn't have to worry about where his opponent is because of Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, Luke being able to just turn the gun.
Yeah.
I mean, expensive upgrade. I think one of, if not the most expensive upgrade in the game at the moment.
It's not quite the most expensive because if I remember rightly, and I'm pretty sure I did look this up the other day, the Delta 7B on Anakin Skywalker is very expensive. I'm just going to double check that.
Gunner Luke is currently 26 points.
Yes, which we had a big debate as to whether it was definitely worth it. Oh, okay. Delta 7B on Anakin is only 24 points. So, supernatural reflexes on Anakin Skywalker is 32 points.
I mean, that would be worth the points probably if you can afford it.
So
we've got some attacks going on.
Yes, so we have a long range attack from Fen, I assume into Lebo.
I think so.
Don't think you can quite hit Jan.
Even though Jan is the supporting ship, doesn't really help Lebo huge in the defense category. It's Janos is there to buff Lebo's attack.
Yeah. And as you see,
Bobber is currently at range 1 of Lebo, meaning no primary attack from Lebo. Isn't it?
No, it's not anymore. You lose a dice at range 1.
While you perform a primary attack at range 0 to 1, do not apply the range 0 to 1 bonus and roll 1 fewer attack die. Okay, so it's a weaker attack. Yes. Sorry, I'm still thinking of version 1. I don't see the 2400 a whole lot on the board.
No, it doesn't come up very often, which is a shame because it's a cool ship. Oh, that's not a bad attack. If only Bobber had not been jammed. So
it was the reroll for
Lone Wolf, but I think that might have been too close. But there is a shield going down there.
Not terrible damage.
No, not terrible. I mean, for Lebo, that's actually really fortunate, given that he managed to false transponder Bobber. If Bobber had had a target lock or a focus there, that would have been a lot more damaging. That would have been 3 shields gone. So, false transponder codes, early use, early game there. And it now leaves Bobber in quite a tricky position with Lebo and Jan Ors facing right at him, with Lone Wolf having been spent already, which I think might actually have been too close to Fen.
Well, it's already been used at this point.
Mm.
Oh well.
But we've got a range 2 from Jan. And it's nice to see the Hawk on the board more as well. So I know it's had a bit of a
I feel like we might see more of it now that we've got it in the Scum pack with Kanan and
Protector Gleb, and yeah. So
that's an interesting roll. It's on its side. At least TTS can tell you what the result should be.
Yeah, and that's 3 shields and stealth device. 2 shields and stealth device.
Oh, and stealth device, yeah.
It's always really painful when you lose stealth device early.
Yeah, you want to at least dodge like 1, maybe 2 to really benefit from purchasing it.
Yeah, because again, it's not a cheap upgrade. And now with a range 1 attack, at least Lebo doesn't get the additional die here, which is.
Well, I wonder, is Lebo going to use cluster missiles instead?
I think he might be actually.
There's 4 dice. Can Jan always boost? No, it has to be a primary attack.
Yeah. So looks like.
Oh, unless Lebo is taking a shot at Fen Rao instead.
No, it's only 2 dice being rolled, so I'd assume that would be a cluster missiles. Okay, so that is a lot more shields off of Boba there, and are we down into the hull nearly? Very close,
the
but
shields are gone.
Yeah, that is a very painful first exchange there. Quinn has definitely come out on top there. And I think he's got fairly good positioning to block Boba as well. Although Sam does have the initiative there. So we'll get to move Boba before Jan, so it might not be as blockable.
Fen Rao, though, is in a good position to come in.
To sweep to the side. I think
also, if Luke turns the gun to point at Fen Rao, that gives him fearless.
Yes. So that is in itself a tricky conundrum. So does it give him fearless? Because I was always under the impression it had to be in the actual forward arc. So let's have a.
Oh, I thought it just had to be a firing arc.
No, while you perform a forward primary attack, if the attack range is 1 and you're in the defender's forward arc, you may change one of your results to a hit result. So it does have to be in that forward arc.
So potentially Quinn could use that to his advantage and.
Yeah. I mean, it looks.
Turret out a different direction.
Yeah. I mean, this looks almost like an interesting position where you'd potentially think might see a seismic charge from Boba, but with Fen's positioning, that definitely stops that. Because I can almost imagine Lebo being in a position where he's going to be at range 1 of an obstacle. So it's
also with the expert handling. Lebo has a white barrel roll, so you could. Has that extra positioning to get away from a bomb if it does happen, and it looks like it might be.
Yeah.
A charge has been spent. Something, or is that the stealth device I'm looking at?
That's the stealth device.
That's the stealth device.
There,
sorry,
yeah.
I saw a token flip.
No, that's fine. I mean, that is great. Not only is it great to avoid bombs and obstacles, etc., it's great to move Lebo further away, whereas most people will be barrel rolling
to get the full power of the gun.
Yeah, you'll be barrel rolling away to be like, no, thank you.
And then I like that Jan has the engine upgrade to try and help keep up.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like a very measured approach there of having Lebo in front, and there's the calculate from K2SO on Jan being used on Lebo. So yeah, it does seem like a very deliberate play here to have Jan right behind Lebo there. Obviously, Lebo to, again, Oh, we are seeing the seismic.
We are okay. So that's going to be that gas cloud.
Yeah. It's the only thing in
So
range
yeah,
of that.
you're right. Fen. I mean, I'm assuming Sam knows that is going to blow up and that Fen will be safe. But
Yeah, I mean, currently Fen sits at range 1. Fen is stressed as well, so that's what's going to make it tricky. I'd
I
anticipate
mean, you
maybe.
say that, but Fen's blues are
Oh,
abundant.
yeah. I mean, I'd anticipate maybe a 2-bank boost.
Yeah,
Probably
that
be.
looks pretty good because then any positioning from there could probably get range 1 of Jan, depending on
Yeah,
where Jan goes. I
yeah,
think Bobber's positioning might get in the way if he gets blocked, though.
yeah. There is that. Bob is going to have to probably try and go quickly. I was about to say.
Yeah, that's very quick.
So, I mean, that's the great thing about Slave One. It's got that rear arc, and it is still a 3-dice attack out the back.
Yeah,
Not many ships have that 3 dice out the front, 3 dice out the back.
not having to worry about doing some sort of red tricky maneuver to turn around and keep your guns on the enemy.
Yeah. You always reserve those for actually just coming back in.
The boost is interesting, though.
I'm wondering if that was a space clearer for Fen just to try and make sure that
maybe.
Fen was safe. Maybe Fen was doing a 3. Because it can be quite difficult to judge it on TTS, I'm not going to lie. That's...
I'm assuming that clears the stress?
It would clear the stress. You kind of got to hope that Fen is boosting through the middle there, otherwise he is going to get hurt when that seismic goes off. That is, I mean...
there's the boost.
There's
Okay.
the boost. I mean,
it's close, but I think Fen should be all right there.
I think Fen should be all right, but Fen has got himself a really nice range 1 arc on arc against Jan.
Yeah, that fearless shot coming in.
So let's have a look. Oh, nothing is caught by it. So, yeah, that was a good boost. And I think, all in all, that's actually going to work out quite well for Sam, at least in the initial engagement there. Obviously, no requirement for Lebo to move
I'm curious
the arc.
if Bobber has a shot out the back. I think it might just clip Jan, but first of all, we've got to deal with all these red dice.
And I bet Sam wishes that was the roll.
Yeah, that often happens, but that's...
I mean, to be honest...
just about as good.
That is a pretty good roll. Do you spend the focus?
I think you probably keep it for defense.
Yeah,
you've got 2 ships about to shoot you.
Oh, no.
Spending it. Okay.
Spending it. Oh, no, that's fearless. Changing one result
of course,
to a hit.
Fearless,
yeah.
Yes.
So, 4 hits.
4 hits and a crit.
And
that
is...
3 shields and a crit.
Yeah. That's sort of going...
That's Fen rail for you.
Yeah, you hurt Bobber. Fen don't like it. What is the crit? Oh, I can't quite see it. We'll hopefully see it pop up in a second. Looks like a hull breach. It is a hull breach. Ouch.
Hull breach. Okay.
I mean, there's only 2 health left, so it's not terrible.
Yeah, hull breach on something with low hull already, not a huge deal. If Bobber currently had it, then maybe, because that's 6 potential crits coming in.
Yeah, but Bobber does have a range 2 shot out the back at Jan. And this
Bobber
time,
could kill Jan right here.
Bobber could kill Jan, and...
Oh, what's that one for?
I think that was checking for Low Wolf, but I think they might have accidentally clicked the range 3 bubble rather than the range 2 bubble. Because Lone Wolf is...
Yeah, range
0 to 2.
Yeah. Oh, well.
I mean, there's 2 hits. And there's the Lone Wolf. That's 3 hits. That could be a dead Jan.
No, not with all the focuses from the Moldy Crow.
Yeah, but it's a hull breach. That could turn into a direct hit.
It's 1 crit coming in. Well, there's no immediate second card, so it's not a direct hit.
Yeah, it
And there's a lot of
looks
text
like
on it.
Panicked Pilot, possibly? No, Wounded Pilots.
That's the do an action and you might get a stress one?
Yes, that's
Okay.
that one. So that's not too bad. It could
I
be
mean,
worse.
Jan doesn't really want stress so that she can buff Lebo, but she's still alive.
I mean, if it was a console fire, that could have been hilarious if Jan rolled the hit and then... Well, she would have died anyway, but... Oh, that's a good roll back.
That is a very good roll. I'm assuming this is Jan back into Fen.
Yeah. That's why you saved that focus.
So that is a...
Concordia face-off.
Yeah, Concordia face-off on the blank, and then spend your focus on the other two.
Yeah.
I think.
That would be right. That's... Yeah.
I mean, in that situation, you spend the tokens when you have it, because...
Yeah, I mean, because otherwise...
You don't know what you're going to roll on the next one.
Otherwise, you'd be eating a crit as well, and you do not want to be eating a crit. And is Lebo going to say, you know what, I'm going to take that range 3 on...
Yeah, the hand was hovering over Bobber. I think it might. Jan has taken the stress to give an extra red die, so
that's
an attack as strong as Fenral coming in.
Range 3 onto Bobber. And there's a target lock there. Bobber is not going to like that. That's definitely the crit going... That's definitely a hit crit going through, so we're definitely seeing Bobber down to 5.
Big rolls happening in this game.
Yeah. Oh, that's painful. That's 3 hits and a crit going into Bobber. Ouch. So let's see what the crit is.
They are really trading blows in this game.
Yeah. And that looks like fuel leak.
Ooh.
Oof.
With the amount of red dice being thrown, I feel like there's a decent chance of a crit sneaking through.
Yeah. I mean, if Jan can survive another turn and potentially take a stress to give Lebo another dice, I think if Lebo's in range of Bobber's gone. Like, Bobber's going to struggle.
All Jan needs to do is avoid Fen Rao. Because if Fen can't finish Jan Ors, then we'll get simultaneous fire. So Bobber and Jan both shoot a 5, but Jan can also swarm tactics Lebo up to a 5 as well.
Yeah.
So all 3 of those could be dead, but on the board at the same time.
I mean, that would be a hilarious combination.
It would be a weird situation, but it could happen. But what I'm basically trying to get across is, if Jan survives, she can buff a Lebo shot.
Yeah. But I mean, Bobber's in a tricky position as although he's got that rear arc, he is quite a way away. So he's gonna have to turn around. Obviously Fenn's got a pretty good dial, but he's still gonna have to spend some time turning back around now.
Yeah, I feel like in most situations, Fen wants to do like the 2 talent roll and keep pursuing one of these ships. But with the large turret that can point anywhere with Luke, he needs to take a token for defense, really.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm pretty sure that Fen should be stressed, as that was a boost focus earlier. So it might be hidden under there.
Anyway.
Yeah. But again, it's got good blues, all the 2s and the 3 hard. I doubt we're going to see the 3 hard because that would be on that rock. But I kind of anticipate we're going to see a disengage from Fen, probably some form of talon roll from Bobber. I mean, Jan and Lebo are loving it as they have all the room in the world to play with down there.
I'm curious to see what would happen if it came down to Fen versus Lebo. Because they're 2 ships that want to play completely different. Lebo wants to keep the distance. Fen wants to close the distance. And they're both pretty maneuverable ships.
Yeah. I mean, the YT-2400 is, as I said, it's a pretty maneuverable ship for a large base ship. And especially when you add in that expert handling, giving it the white barrel roll.
Yeah, I really like that upgrade on it.
Yeah.
That's a very good idea. Because most of the time you see the ship and you go, oh, it's dash. It will probably have trick shot.
Yeah.
Because that works really well on it as well. But for Lebo, expert handling seems brilliant.
Yeah, it's a really nice combination. And I think expert handling is a really good upgrade that doesn't get used that often. I've seen it on a few things. It's quite nice on the TIE RB, especially when you've got the MKG maneuvering assist, because then
I guess most ships that already have a barrel roll have some way of doing it white. There's very few that have it red, where you go, oh, I really want that to be white.
Yeah, I mean, the Z95 is a red barrel roll, but
but those ships are so cheap, you're like, I don't really want to put extra points on it.
Yeah, true.
Whereas something like Lebo, it can take a few hits before going down. You'll get time to use expert handling.
I quite like it on, I'm pretty sure the Arc 170 you can stick it on as well to give that the white barrel roll.
Yeah, that's definitely one that it's usable on, I think.
I mean, especially considering that the actual art for the card is the Arc 170.
Oh, it is on the artwork, is it?
Yeah.
It's been a while since I've looked at it, to be honest.
I mean, at least that's some artwork that's on the card that is actually relevant, unlike the engine upgrade where it's got the Kirax on there and the Kirax can't take engine upgrade.
Oh, well, that's...
So it's a little bit silly. But there we go. So there's the Talon from Bobber, a small disengage to get rid of that stress from Fen.
Yes, the stress was on there. We just couldn't see it.
Do we get a boost?
I think so. I think that might still be in range for a Lebo shot, though.
It might be, but it's going to give Fen that extra. And now the debate is whether to, there we go, take the stress. Again, you got the too hard to come back around and then just...
Yeah, plus you can too hard and boost and get almost all the way around or take another turn. You know, you've already disengaged. There's no point trying to suddenly get right back into the fight.
Oh, so Bobber is out of range, but looking at where... I was about to say, Fen's
he's
just sneaks in, so... Will we see an additional stress on Jan to give that additional
I
die?
think so.
There we go.
Yeah.
Oh, this could
You want
be...
as many dice as you can at Fen Rao.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he's only grabbed one. Oh, no, hang on. There's another. And another. And another. That's the four. And then the fifth from Jan. There we go.
Literally teasing with those dice there. Oh, that's not great.
It's not the best roll, and no target lock.
No target
like he
lock.
had on Bobber. Can spend a calculate on one of those eyes.
Gets one through though.
Sneaks in a damage.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Lebo's ability would trigger to give him another calculate, but there's no point because the fight's now over.
Oh, and it would appear Sam was trying to take the whole deck. Getting very unhappy that Fen took damage. I'll just give it all the damage.
Oh, when you select it slightly wrong on TTS and it just goes, here, take the whole thing. You're like, I just want one.
Yeah, just one, please. Just one. It's not like we're playing Epic and like a raider has just unleashed hell on a ship. So this is going to be fairly interesting now. Bobber is probably going to try and come in, I'd say maybe probably 3 forward, clear that stress. Oh, but that might actually bump Fen.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, because Bobber needs to sort of hop over Fen, so he needs to go quick.
Yeah.
Or slow and just take the bump and wait another turn. Maybe give Fen time to turn around so they can both go in together.
I think that would be a
Quinn has kept Jan and Lebo just next to each other.
Oh, it's poetry in motion with those two. Like it's been quite good flying there. So and that's quite tricky when you've got a large base ship and a small base ship who have very quite different dials to be able to manage that. Like, to a degree, there are going to be simple ways of doing it, especially as he's going to have to be trying to stress clear with Jan as well.
Yeah, what do you think about the K2 crew? Because I was thinking, like, well, why not take someone like Neon crew who can give you some more blues?
I mean, what's the points for K2 and Neon? I know Neon's not
K2
expensive.
is 7.
Right.
Let's have a quick look. Neon is 5. Decrease the difficulty of your bank maneuvers, although...
So you could get potentially a much better maneuver out of the Hawk by giving all of its banks being blue. But I think that calculate with Lebo.
Oh yeah, the calculate with Lebo works well. I just feel like having K2 on a different ship to Lebo kind of puts all of your eggs in one basket, and that basket is called Lebo.
Yeah. I mean, it is a tricky one. I mean, there was no space. Obviously, you can't get K2 on Lebo anyway because he doesn't actually have a crew slot, which I did not realise. So having taken it on Janels is obviously the next best option. Allowing Lebo to get that calculate, which he has the ability for, and then be able to do another action itself is really good. And again, Lebo's dial is fairly good. I mean, you've got like to get rid of the stress, you've got to go fairly slow. But...
yeah, it's a fairly kind of average dial, but on a large ship, it actually is pretty good.
Yeah, on a large boat ship, that's a really good dial. So that's the one hard keeping the stress. Bump. Yeah, that is.
I feel like Quinn has worked out the positioning of that beforehand, or that was an amazing. I don't know.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, I almost wish that Jan Ors had the one hard as well, just so that she could slot in front, because then you'd just be like, yeah, that would have been perfect. But she doesn't.
Bobber taking the bump.
Yeah. I think that's the right call.
Yeah, it seems sensible.
Ooh, Jan taking the bump.
Jan goes, I'll just go forward and clear my stress and stay right next to my friend.
Yeah.
Smart.
That is very good.
2 very purposeful bumps.
Yeah. And then you've got Fen just taking the opportunity to get a bit of reposition. I always think it'd be like worth maybe just focusing, staying there. Although if you did boost round,
like
if you boost round, you can get a shot on Jan, I reckon.
I think if you boost so that you've got a clear line between the cloud and the debris,
yeah,
you can then gain a favourable position next turn.
Yeah. Because we've got two ships on the board that are hurting quite drastically, and 2 ships on the board that comparatively, I mean, Fen's taken a quarter of his health, but it's still Fen.
Yeah, it's Fen. Wow, that's
just
barely got out of range. And that looked very close to triggering the heavy laser cannon as well.
Yeah, I think that might have triggered heavy laser cannon.
Were it in range, yeah.
Yeah.
I do like the heavy laser cannon.
It's a very good upgrade card, and like I like what they've done with it. It's just quite solid.
Yeah, having it be a very powerful weapon, but bullseye only. Like the addition of the bullseye in general for X-Wing has been brilliant.
Oh yeah,
in my opinion.
I mean, it's changed things for the better in so many ways.
It gives the game creators a lot of options for balancing abilities by limiting stronger ones to the bullseye.
Yeah, I mean, you look at Predator, Crackshot, Marksmanship, all those really cool upgrades. Like even Soon TFL's ability is Bullseye, and what that does is it gives you a great ability, puts a cap on it, which means that then you don't have to pay an excessive premium to access it.
Yes. Yeah, it means that the more favourable pilots don't become way too expensive to even use.
Yeah. it leaves it so that you only have Darth Vader and the Defender being ridiculously expensive.
That's Darth Vader and a Defender.
I mean, yeah, he's great. I'm not going to lie. But yeah, I mean, limiting it to Bullseye, it also promotes, like, good flying. Because
your positioning pays off much better.
Yeah. Because you've got such a small window to get it. So you're like, right, well, if I want to access it, I need to fly well. And if you manage to pull it off, you're there like, yeah, you know what? I have done a good job there. So I really like it. And it was one of the things that obviously got introduced towards the latter part of version 1 with the Kimagila, and it's something that I'm really glad that they brought over into version 2 for everything.
Yeah, definitely.
And obviously we're seeing more ships utilising it as well. It's not just it's part of the drawing on the board. So, which is quite cool. But it looks like we've got Lebo turning away a little bit there, actually.
Yeah. I mean, I guess starting to head around the other side of the asteroid field, but it does mean, where Lebo's going to be is going to be a bit more predictable.
Yeah, but again, I suppose it's leading further away from where Fenn is likely to be to then keep that range larger, so he gets the dice benefit.
Jan continuing to be some sort of tick on Lebo's back.
Yeah. Ooh, hard turn there. Interesting. I'm not sure if a bank...
Maybe anticipating Lebo to be not quite as far over as he is.
Yeah. I can imagine
maybe a barrel roll coming.
Yeah. I don't think they want to be barrel...
Yeah, I think...
Yeah,
Yeah.
There we go. I was going to say, I didn't think they'd want to be barrel rolling the other way. Looks like barrel rolling towards the middle there, rather than... I think it's a case of forward wouldn't get you close enough, but maybe the middle might give you like the range 3 benefit for it.
And then getting the focus as well.
That looks like it was just at range 3, so... and we're seeing a Luke trigger there to rotate that arc.
I can't tell which way it's now pointing, though.
It is pointing right to left of the ship, so it's
actually pointing... going for Fenn.
Yeah, so that is range 3. So yeah, you can see going to the middle there was actually a good choice, because although Lebo gets a benefit of more dice as normal, Fenn also gets the benefit of the additional green dice, which fingers crossed might really help there.
Yeah, I think Quinn's making the right choice, trying to focus down Fenn, whilst Jan is potentially still on the board.
Yeah, 100%. That's not a great shot from Fenn.
It's not having to spend the focus to get some hits in, though.
Yeah.
Could still finish the job.
Well, it's at Lebo, so that's just one...
Oh, that was at Lebo, no. Sorry.
No, that was at Jan. That was at Jan, and that is Jan gone.
Oh, of course, because of the bumping, Jan didn't have a stockpile of tokens from Moldy Crow.
Yeah, and that was a direct hit because of Hull Breach. Not that they needed the direct hit, but... And
no simultaneous fire, so Lebo is now stuck at a 3.
Yeah, that was actually... I thought Fenn was going for Lebo, though. I missed the call on Jan. Well played there by Sam. I think that was the right call.
It was a good shot. This is
Bobber
into Lebo.
I'd say... I was surprised it's for the focus, given that it looks like Luke had already been triggered to move that arc.
I guess maybe being at 3 health, just wanting to keep that defense.
Yeah.
In case, if you spend it, then Lebo is more likely to go, I'll shoot you.
The arc was actually forward and back.
Oh, okay. In that case, then you know that Lebo is going to shoot you. So.
Yeah. Oh, and
it's still 4 dice. Even without the Janor's boost. Oh, and that is...
Oh, that is painful. What's that bottom dice? Can't quite...
I mean, even if the other one is a blank, that's 2 hits and a crit.
Oh, that's...
Spend a focus? Is that enough to live? Can't see what that last dice is.
I think the last dice was a blank, but it is still a hit crit. But it's fuel leak, so regardless, that's
Oh, of course, the crit will trigger the fuel leak.
a dead bobber.
So now in that case, you feel like maybe you do spend it on the attack, because if you're going to go down swinging. But that was a good roll from Lebo.
Very good. And
yeah,
I swear, Ella, you were asking for a specific matchup.
I was actually, wasn't I? Yeah.
So
Ben versus Lebo.
This is going to be interesting.
The positioning is going to be key to this.
Yeah, I think Lebo against almost any other ace, I would potentially say would favour Lebo.
But this is Fenrau.
But against Fenrau, I think Fenrau is going to be... But there's a lot of health for Fenrau to chew through. And all it would take is for...
one bad defensive roll from Fen.
And then it's over. So this is going to be tough. And also, Lebo's going to be able to keep that arc on Fen regardless.
Yeah, that Luke Skywalker upgrade potentially going to really pay off.
Yeah. Dangerous. Do you just... If you were flying Lebo now, would you just essentially keep doing donuts? Or would you sort of like try and turn back in and then try and
you kind
get
of...
as far out?
Yeah, Because if you do donuts, then Fen can keep up with you. If you try and keep your distance, Fen can, maybe stay at distance for one turn, but then he'll close the gap. I think we're going to maybe see a lot of like good rounds for Fen, good rounds for Lebo, back and forth sort of thing.
I think the main thing that Lebo wants to try and do is not have Fen in the front of him. He wants Fen either at the side or behind, yeah. So, well...
I mean, it's obstructed.
It is obstructed. Do we see a boost from Fen? Because as well, Fen wants to stick in range 1. I think we might see a boost to the... They might try for a boost to the right. It's close.
If that's already range 1 and obstructed...
boost to the right wouldn't fit, so...
does not fit, so fails the action.
And can't link it, so...
No tokens.
And there we go, we see the trigger of Luke to spin. Yep, so range 1, no tokens. I mean, it's still...
it's still Fenrau.
It's still Fenrau. There's still
five dice.
Yeah. No way of modding them, though.
True. Oh. Still pretty good.
Crit, yeah.
Oh, look at that. Spend the calculate, get a calculate. Yep, just puts the token back where it was and dodges it.
This is where Lebo being at like I3, I mean, just Lebo's ability in general, but being at I3 is going to be quite handy for him. So, range 1, so only 3 dice. Fen does get 5 evades because of the obstruction. So, again, that's just rude.
Fen has both attacked and defended with 5 dice.
Yep.
That's stupid.
Yeah. Normally it's one way or the other, not both. Ooh, 2 hits there.
Decent roll on 3 dice.
Oh.
What? Okay.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Fen is down to 1 hull.
Okay.
And Lebo still has 10 health.
That puts the game heavily in Quinn's favour.
Yeah.
Even on points alone, Fen is now, he's given up half points on Fen and all of Bobber, which is, 157 points.
Yeah, it's ouch.
And I'm assuming that even if Fen can get half points on Lebo, that's not going to be enough to overtake.
I don't think it'll be anywhere. I don't think it'll be that close to us. Saying that the YT2400s are fairly expensive, so it could be, but wouldn't like to think it. Let's have a quick look. I mean, Lebo's 118. So you'd be looking at, 55, 59 points? 59 points. So that nowhere near enough. It has to be a full clear of Lebo for Sam to win this now.
I mean, if any pilot can do it, though, it is Fenn.
I mean, these are the stories that are talked about in X-Wing Players' Nightmares. I remember that game where
I had Fenn Rao at 1 health for half an hour and I couldn't finish him.
And he took out my entire list. Yeah, Fenn Rao is the X-Wing boogeyman.
Wow, did that not clip the cloud?
Oh, no, it didn't.
And Fenn apparently didn't clip that asteroid either. Wow.
Wow, that's great flying.
Are we sure neither of these ships are dash render?
Well, I mean, if it was Connor playing, we'd have to double check because he likes to throw in a few interesting things. But no, that was just purely lovely flying. And then Fenn back in for a range 1. So, but Fenn now has the focus. This is where it gets really tough because it's a real tough choice now with whatever Fenn rolls as to whether he spends the focus. Like here, I'd probably say not to spend the focus.
Yeah, for the addition of one hit, especially when you're on 1 health. Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Sensible. And then that is brutal. Let's see if it definitely paid off to save that focus. So only 4 dice on the defense, but still 4 dice range 1 defense. I mean, you look at that and think that should be okay, right? Yeah. It's spending the focus anyway, just because.
Spend it.
Yeah. I'm definitely safe. Right, well, whilst the pilots figure out what they're going to try and do next in this interesting dance, I think it's a good time to also remind our viewers that if you like what we're doing and you want to support the channel, we do have a Patreon where the link is in the description below. From as little as £2 a month, you can actually support the channel. And we do put up content on our Patreon, giving you little teasers of what's coming up next. But again, it's just a great way to show your support for the channel if you like what we're doing. And we would absolutely love you to do that. And the link is in the description below.
Fenn doing a good job of keeping up, although that might just snuck Lebo into range 2. No,
there's 5 there.
Still range 1.
There's 5 dice, still range 1. Can it be brutal? 3 hits.
I mean, with 5 dice, you know, averaging 3.
Yeah.
And with only 2 defense dice for Lebo, the damage is going to start picking up.
That's 2 going through. Is this the cascade of damage?
I feel like Fenn really needs to land a nasty crit, though.
Yeah.
As you said, it's still a lot of health for him to get through, if he's still alive.
Yeah. If Fenn can land a hull breach, a direct hit or a fuel leak on there, or
a weapons failure.
Weapons failure would be good. And stun pilot as well. That would make things really
There's
tricky.
a number of crits that could really be nasty for Lebo, actually. Spends the focus to avoid 3.
Yeah.
The calculate down there indicating that the focus would be changed as well.
Yes. So wise saving of that focus. I mean, if you got a blinded pilot, that would be brilliant because then Lebo can do no actions. In fact, I think blinded pilot might be one of the better ones to get against Lebo.
True, because, yeah.
I mean, yeah, I, to be honest, there are a number of really good ones which each have their own benefit. I mean,
well, yeah, I mean, they're crits. They aren't supposed to be, this one's not too bad.
I mean, there are some where you get it and you go, well, It is
The
what it
ones
is.
like that for me are hull breach when you're like, oh, I've got 1 health left.
Or structural damage on a decimator or a ghost.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have any evades anyway.
Oh, what a shame.
Yeah. It's like I've flown over a gas cloud and I've got strained. Woohoo!
Oh darn, my already abundant supply of evade dice is gone. What a real bother.
Oh, let's see what's happening here. So
I feel like Lebo just goes as fast as he can and
I
hopes that Fen can't keep up, maybe? Or
I think so. I think that's what you should do.
maybe try and bank around that debris. Oh,
Go the other.
that's not what I thought Lebo would do. Okay.
It's an interesting one, but I think that's...
Takes the calculate. Does he try and link anything else? No. Okay.
Okay, and I think then...
I feel like Lebo is letting Fen keep up too well.
Yeah, because I think what you want to do now, obviously you've got the barrel roll. I
like that more than the boost because it forces Lebo to spend the force to turn the gun.
Yeah.
So he doesn't have that for modifying his dice. I like that.
And I think next turn as well, it makes it really tricky for Lebo. It makes it tricky for Fen actually, as well as Lebo. Because if Lebo goes like, oh, that's
Fen not having the best of luck with his dice.
But he's saving his focuses, which I think is clever.
Yeah, oh, definitely.
Yeah. So I mean, going back to it, I think Fen has a choice to make as to whether he tries to anticipate where Lebo goes. If Lebo keeps going left, or if Lebo goes right, I think if Fen doesn't call it right, he will not have a shot and will just be shot at.
True, because with Lebo where he is now, you know, he could go up the board, he could go down the board.
Yeah.
And Fen does need to make a decision for that.
Oh, that's not bad. Like, Fen will take that.
Well, unless he rolls all blanks.
Oh, no, he got one evade and he's got the focus, and just right there. So yeah, I mean, would you go left or would you go right with Lebo?
I feel like Lebo would turn left because it's then harder for Fen to turn and keep up. Because he's currently stressed.
But he's got the 2 hard, which is blue, and he could probably maybe, well, depending where it is, he could either not just do a focus if he's in a good enough position, or he could just boost a barrel roll again to really try and double down that range 1. We'll see though.
What if Lebo did a sharp turn to the left and then barrel roll to try and bump Fen to then try and get further away next time?
Ooh. Okay, well, there's the left.
Looks like another token grab.
Yep.
But yeah, you're right. Fen can just do a 2 sharp and be just on him again.
He might not even need to, like... Oh, no, he's going for that barrel roll. I think
that's more to just keep closer to him.
Yeah, I was going to say he could have like not done that and then left open that 1 heart next turn, but again, it does allow him to keep right on top of it. And even if Fen does bump, I'm pretty sure that he'd be clearing his stress, so he probably wouldn't be too bothered.
True.
But
also, Lebo has to move first, so Fen's still fairly clear to do the 1 sharp. And again, not a great roll from Fen.
Oh, he hasn't rolled.
Oh, sorry, he hasn't rolled. I thought that was right. Well.
Ooh.
Well, there's 2 crits.
Yeah,
at least they're crits.
But it's still not 2 shields. It's just... Well, there's 1 shield.
1 shield. Down to that shield upgrade.
This is where it comes down to Fen not being in the forward firing arc.
I'll be impressed if Fen manages to get a shot like that.
I don't think he would. Like, either Fen would have to do something truly amazing, or Quinn would have to like just make a big mistake. Oh, so having to spend that focus,
constantly having to spend it on defense.
That's why you save it when you've got 1 health left. I mean,
definitely.
You might get something
unless you feel like you can kill it by spending it.
I mean,
maybe.
say Lebo's got 3 health left, and you've rolled like all 5 focuses. You know he's got 2 evade dice. You just focus up.
Yeah, to guarantee the 3 goes through.
But I think at this point, you save that focus for defense. Even if you don't actually spend it in the defense, you were just safer that way. Like at this point, with 1 health, normally I'd say it's a bit more of a tough decision, but with 1 health, you want to give yourself every advantage in defense that you can.
I'm curious to see because if Lebo gets far enough away, Ben might even proc his advanced proton torpedoes.
If he gets that target lock, yeah, that's saying that.
And with Lebo, well, I don't know, it's still risky though, because you're then left without a focus token, aren't you?
Yeah.
Which I feel Fen really needs at the moment.
Yeah, I think that's probably why.
Yeah, probably won't see the advanced proton torpedoes, but I like it as an additional upgrade on Fen.
Yeah, I think, again, any other situation, if you'd already got the target lock, then it would be a really handy option there. I mean, you could drop it and have a ridiculous bid, but I like advanced proton torpedoes on there. Oh, so this is just not having to use that boost or barrel, keeping in range 1. Lebo will need to spend the force to rotate that arc.
It doesn't look like that's happened. I think that dice are coming out a bit prematurely, but I think
yeah, he's done it.
Yeah, it's being spent.
That's a good attack. That's a good attack there,
That's a good shot.
So
damage is definitely coming through.
That is definitely a crit going through. Oh, that's big.
That's what Fen has been holding on to life for.
That's big. This is where Fen will now seriously consider his focus on attack. Let's see what that crit
I mean,
is.
one more potential bad roll for Fen.
Yeah. And he might not get that chance.
We're celebrating him getting damage on Lebo, but as we saw, he took 2 damage like it was nothing earlier. What is the crit, though?
Oh, it's Panic Pilot.
Oh, stress.
Yeah, it's Panic Pilot. Double stress on Lebo. This is Fen's time to shine.
Yeah, those calculates recurring after... Yeah, it's giving him effectively a force point, really.
Yeah.
And not having that for at least 2 turns.
Yeah.
Although I guess with the positioning at the moment, he could then maybe have a force point, which kind of counteracts it. But yeah, that's...
Oh, hit crit.
Could be a worse crit, but that's...
Well, there's the focus.
That focus. Fen is focused on survival.
Yes. And you know what? Right now, I think the balance has tipped back into Fen's favour there.
I mean, it goes to show why you go, oh, Fen Raoul's here. I will shoot him first.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, he's normally your number 1 target. He's just ridiculous.
But you look at Sam's list and go, there's a lot of stuff on Boba Fett, and that's a lot of points I can get easier.
Yeah. I mean, it is a lot. It's easier points, but I mean, I've played a couple of games where you get left with the cheaper, more manoeuvrable ship.
Oh,
it's
yeah,
so
definitely.
difficult. I mean, we also look at last week's game between Eli and Connor, with the Defender it was Defender versus Django, and that Defender was just an absolute nightmare for Eli to take out. So it is always a tricky one. Like, who do you focus for? But I mean, I think the answer normally is, if he's on the board, Fen Raoul.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh.
So clears one of Lebo's stresses, I think.
Yeah, clears 1 stress.
Is going to have to turn the gun again, so potentially no modifiers at all for Lebo.
Yeah. Oh, Fen's taking the target lock.
Oh, a bold move.
That is very,
Then
very
again,
bold.
no mods from Lebo. It's
Yeah.
one of the safer shots, but yeah, I mean, yeah, you just sort of.
Oh,
yeah,
it's 6 dice. Because of Fen Rao. Because of Fen Rao's ability, let me just double check the wording on that.
Yeah.
When you defend or perform an attack, if the attack range is 1, you may roll 1 additional die. It doesn't say primary. That's a 6 dice advanced proton torpedo shot.
Oh, his ability works on a proton torpedo. I didn't know that.
And
That's brutal.
okay, so that's
Not the best roll, but
not the best roll, but
that's
hit
a lot of red
crit.
dice.
Yeah, that's max red dice. That's F's for
That's
Lebo. Oh
No?
no, spending the force.
Oh, didn't use the force to turn the gun.
Didn't use the force to turn the gun. Suspended the force, but what is
Takes
the
a crit.
So
Hitting a crit. They're both on 1 health, but what is the crit?
oh, that's teasing. He didn't actually grab a card. The crit is panicked pilot again.
Another panicked pilot.
It's another panicked pilot.
I mean, I can't say I blame him for being panicked after that.
I mean, panicked, rattled, shaken, stirred.
When you sent me these lists, I was like, oh, cool. Lebo, big gun with general support. That's going to be a lot of red dice for the Rebels. And we've just seen 6 come out of Fen Rao.
Yeah. It looks like that arc. I mean, it's so hard to see. It looks like that arc. Is that arc actually?
I think Lebo's currently pointing back to front.
Yeah, it is back to front.
Yeah,
I think
so those
they've just
dice
spotted
gone
that.
away.
Yeah.
Kind of beneficial that Lebo didn't turn the gun, though.
Yeah, Fen is wiping. He's removed his helmet slightly. He's wiped his brow, thinking, I might have shot myself in the foot there by not having focus, but it has panned out. It's now 1 hull versus 1 hull. The balance of power here is.
But I mean, we've been seeing the pattern here. Lebo has been failing to get the damage onto Fen whilst slowly being picked away at.
And I think that this positioning,
I mean, the cloud's in the way a bit.
If Lebo says whatever and hard twos to the left or something, he's good. He's in a nice position there. Fen won't be able to actually get at him. So Fen is in a slightly tricky position right now. Or even
or do you just go to hell with it? He's on 1 health. I'll go over the cloud.
Yeah, there is that.
Because I would definitely do that if it wasn't like a tournament or something.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to take damage from the cloud.
True. Ooh, that's not bad. I like it. I like it. So. Oh, no.
Plays it safe.
Plays it safe.
I think that is obstructed, though, at the moment.
Yeah, because it's forwards and back at the moment with the arc. So I think that, that would be obstructed regardless. I
think maybe barrel. Actually, no, because you're close enough that you
barrel roll and focus. It gets you.
I guess so.
Oh, but I think you might have been in range 1, so you might.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, because that keeps the gun actually weaker by staying closer.
But it gives you a bit more maneuverability as Fen there, I think.
Yeah, I mean, if Lebo had any chance of landing a hit on Fen, this might be it.
I think he's just rotated the arc and he didn't actually need to, so that force has been spent to rotate the arc. So that's actually.
So just unmodified red dice.
4v4, gas cloud and focus.
Yeah, the gas cloud and the focus, though. Only one.
Just
Okay, 1 crit. So he's guaranteed to live.
Yeah, guaranteed.
If he rolls all evades, he's evaded. If he rolls all focuses, he can focus. If he rolls all blanks, he can use 1 on the gas cloud.
Yeah.
But Lebo is now further away.
It does make it a lot better for Lebo here. So we'll just have to see. I mean, saying that, Fen does have that 2 hard and then the boost, but if Lebo now does a
If
too hard.
Lebo uses the gas cloud to its advantage, then it could still work out in his favour.
Well, we've got about 12 minutes left. I'll tell you, the last 20 minutes have been tense. Ooh.
Yeah, because Fenrir went down to 1 health when there was, half an hour left?
Yeah. I don't know if that was a good idea.
I can see the thinking behind it, because you feel like Fen is going to go between those two clouds, and he doesn't have enough positioning to get any closer than that.
Yeah, so
got a good chance of a range 2 to 3 shot.
Yeah. So
and I think his gun is already pointing right. I can never remember which way his gun's pointing, to be honest, but it doesn't hugely matter with Luke.
He's spent the force, he's moved it, so...
Okay. But will he live to see another day? He might with that.
Is he right with that?
Needs 2 natural evades. And he doesn't get it.
That's not 2 natural evades. I mean, that is Lebo gone, but wow. Like, he...
I'm glad that those are the last 2 ships. That was a very interesting end game to see.
Yeah. I mean, it just goes to show, again, the myth is real.
It goes to show that getting any amount of damage on Fenrir is worth it. Like, you go, oh, I only got 1 damage on Fenrir. Imagine if that had happened in the last 20 minutes.
Yeah.
1 damage.
I mean, it saved Lebo for quite a long time because Fen then, Sam didn't want to spend that focus on Fen. So that was an absolute godsend for Lebo. Unfortunately, Lebo couldn't quite capitalise on it.
I also do like Fen's gutsy play of the advanced proton torpedo. That was very cool to see. Even though the dice kind of only landed a few hits, it was still cool to see 6 dice rolled.
Yeah. And it really does make you go, okay, that's why you put advanced proton torpedoes on there.
Yeah, I hadn't considered his ability works on non-primaries as well.
It's one of those things I think most people assume that it works on primaries because a lot of them have that caveat of primaries or turrets. So they normally caveat it rather than just being, it's a range 1 attack, have an extra dice on top of the normal. But yeah, I mean, that was a thrilling game.
That was a great game.
I really enjoyed that. Fen is just scary. Lebo did fantastically there. And I love the combination between Jan and Lebo. So that did well. But I think, guys, what we're going to do is we're going to call it there. So, James, thank you very much for joining me on that. It was an absolute pleasure. And hopefully we'll have you back on the channel soon. Now, as I said, guys, obviously we do have the Patreon, so if you do want to support us, the link is in the description below. But while you're checking the video out, please make sure that you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and as always, we will see you next time.